Hey everybody, how's it going? Octopus here, welcome back. We're going to be doing the Metal Spotlight for Lexaeus. Basically, I'm going to go over traits, Keyblade, and exactly how this higher the slot number works. So, first off, let's just try to get a good trait on this guy. If you guys haven't passed him yet, I'm going to try to figure out more setups to actually pass him. But for now, whatever I have up is what I did. For my free-to-play account, I just put attack boost 4 and APP on my Moana, and I got a better friend medal, which was a KDG with 1000 strength and negative 60 defense down on his traits. So that's how I did on my free-to-play account. On my stream, I showed my guild. I got 95% and I fully maxed them out. But for this one, the traits I was talking about in my stream, this trait I want is 1000 strength because that's generally good everywhere. And if I don't get 1000 strength, I want negative 60% down for air enemies or ground enemies. Either one's fine, but I'm going for air. Extra power is not good on this medal, guys. This medal is an attack medal. You want more damage. Extra attack power after level 400 enemies or even after level 300 enemies is not a good idea. You want 1000 strength or negative 60% ground or air. One of those three, and only those three. So there you go, ground enemy defense. If I don't get, if I don't get air enemy defense, then this is the one I'm going to stick to. And don't worry, guys, I'm not going to screw up again like I did with my Chippendale. I'll do this properly. I'll make sure I upgrade this guy to level 6 and get him fully guilted. Because if I did what I did with Chippendale for this guy, it'd be the saddest video ever. Alright, so negative 60% ground is, I love that. That's perfect. The best thing for me is negative 60% air because of invisibles, the black copter fleets. A lot of air enemies are speed, and that's why I want aerial defense because power versus speed is very strong. So if I get the aerial negative 60%, that's the best thing. But for all around damage, 1000 strength. If you want to take down certain enemies, then you guys pick ground or air. In my case, I think power should have air. That's just me. But let's finish loading this guy up. Apparently I can't do it. There we go. So level 80, I'm going to get this guy to 6-star and then do the next 3 and then put them together if I don't get the proper trait. So here we go. We got this one at 6-star. Now I'm going to get another one at 6-star. I'm going to do it separately so I don't have to waste so much of my Mickeys and all my experience medals. Let me just make sure that's a 5-star. On a 5-star, we're golden. So I'm going for air. Air trait here. That's the one I want. Negative 60% on air. Okay, another ground one. Not bad. If I get 1000 strength, I could use 1000 strength, but I really want to do damage again to air, guys. So I think that's the best trait. For anybody else that wants all-around damage plus 1000 strength, extra attack is not the way to go. Do not put extra attack on this guy, because later on, your extra attack is actually going to do less damage on higher level enemies. Do I have to go search for one? Here we go. So when you get to level 300 or 400 enemies, eventually that extra attack is only going to do 1 damage, and that's why it's not that good on these kind of medals that don't have a buff or a debuff. So now that we got this guy to 80, I'm going to evolve him, I'm going to fuse them together, and we're going to check out our first guild on this guy. Hopefully it's not 80% and it's a little bit better than that. I want to make sure I grab this one right here, lock it, because this is the one with the grounds. They both have ground, so I can't really go wrong here, but just to be safe. Alright. Throw some experience medals in there and let's guild Lexaeus B. So we're going to talk about skills after this and Keyblade setups, and then I'm going to show you guys the damage he does before and after the skill. 89%. I'm okay with that. 89%. Because it's an organization member, I am going to put the 11 mirrors because they are limited for now. Bad skill to put on him. Bad trait to put on him, guys. Trust me on this. That's not a trait you want on him. Now that we have this negative 60%, you definitely don't have to argue the 1000 strength versus extra attack. Negative 60% is the way you guys want to go for damage medals. Unless it's a high score challenge medal, then 1000 strength is good. But let's finish this guy off. Let's get more experience on him and just go throw him on a test run. So I do have my Stroke of Midnight at level 25. So I'm going to do it before and after with this medal right now. I'm going to make an equipment real quick. I should have went to the proper quest, but that's okay. So we're going to go through one of these proud quests, which is the speed one. I'm going to showcase him on the level 450 ones. So let's see if we can do any damage on this. And I'm going to do a setup real quick in front of you guys on the Stroke of Midnight. So here we go, Stroke of Midnight. We're going to use our new medal, and we're going to put some traits on him afterwards. So I'm going to put the best buffs I can on here, or at least I think that are good. Who am I? I know nothing. So we're going to need some general defense down for this, and then we're going to need a good buffer as well. So I'm going to grab my HD Beast. Basically, everything here is just to buff him as much as I can. So I got 4 there. If anything, I'm going to go for another ×3 buffer. Where's my Maui? So we're going to go ×6 with -12. So this should be good right here. I'm going to do ×6 power buff, ×6 strength buff, -2 defense, and no attribute defense down. So we'll see. That's probably not the best idea, but just to keep it consistent. That's going to be on the Stroke of Midnight. We're going to put him on the 5th slot. If you guys don't have Stroke of Midnight, he's not going to lose that much damage. He's going to lose 0.25 damage every slot you go down. So you can use him on the Moogle Glory on this slot right here, I believe. So for Keyblades, before I do the whole before and after, yeah, for this slot right here, you can still put him here. He's still going to have over a full 4 multiplier, or close to a full 4.0 something multiplier, or 3.9 something. But it's only 0.25 every slot you go ahead. So if you put him over here, he's going to be a 4.5 medal, or a 4.46 medal. And then over here, he's going to be a 4.3, so on and so on. So he doesn't drop that much. Or I got that wrong, but just take away 0.25 every time you drop him. From the looks of it anyways. Where is he? Right here. So between 3.4 and 4.7, we're looking at 1.3. And there's 5 slots on Keyblade. So first slot, he's going to be 3.44. Second slot, he'll be a 3.69. And then so on and so on until it hits 4.71. Or it could be just a little bit more than that. It could be like 0.30. But take away, if you do the math between those two and divide it by 5. So let's just do it. I'll just do the math for you guys because I'm a nice guy. So we got 4.71, and we're going to take that away from a 3.44. So that leaves 1.27, and if we divide that by 5 slots, yeah, we're looking at 0.5 between each slot, if that's how it calculates. If not, just correct me in the comments, guys. This is me just taking guesses. I couldn't really find anything online about it, but every slot down he goes, you take away 0.25 or 0.26 multiplier. So even though you're going to drop him in slot 4 or slot 3, he's still going to have a strong multiplier for a tier 3 medal. Alright, so that's just me guessing on this. It could be between 3.44 and 4.71, or it could be only, if he's not in the 5th slot, he's a 3.44, and only in the 5th slot will he have a higher multiplier. I could be wrong about that, but if I'm right about this and he only loses 0.256, you guys can put him here on the Starlights. You guys can put him on the 4th slot here, or the 5th slot here on a Treasure Trove, and only lose 0.1. So a Treasure Trove level 25.1 difference compared to the Stroke of Midnight's 2.5. So you're only losing 0.10 multiplier, which does make a difference. But if you guys don't have Stroke of Midnight, you guys can put him on Treasure Trove. And basically that's it until later on when we get newer medals like Fenrir. If what I'm talking about only loses 0.25, Fenrir has a 4 slot on a reversed power, so he can fit on there too if he doesn't drop down to a 3.44. If he drops down to a 4.5 something, I guess, a 4.4 something. But if he doesn't drop like that and he just drops straight to 3.44, then your only multipliers you guys are going to have that are going to work out is Stroke of Midnight and Treasure Trove. Until later on, there's another Keyblade, but we won't talk about that because that's like way far away, and you're going to need an SP Gauge 2 on him to actually fit on that Keyblade. So one thing I forgot to do was add the mirrors on him. I'm definitely going to go for the mirrors here just because I want to see him at 100%. I'm probably not going to use them, but you know, why not? Let's, for the sake of this video, get this guy to 100%. 89% is not a bad roll. This is not an idea. You guys don't have to make him 100%. You can do a lot of stuff without him. Again, anybody who got him, you probably already have really good medals compared to this. But raise my Nova, why not? So 100%. I'm gonna go do the quest now, like I was talking about. I just want to clarify for equipment. You can use Stroke of Midnight. You can use Moogle Glory. You're just gonna lose a little bit more on medals like Moogle Glory because he's gonna be on a lower slot, but you're still gonna do good damage. Do not worry about that. So let's do the prod quest here, and let's try Stroke of Midnight because this is his full potential basically. I'm not gonna use anything to really take out every enemy here, just enough to do what I'm doing. Alright, so it's one target. I'm only gonna do damage to the invisible because that's what I want to show off. So hopefully we actually nick some damage off these guys. My Illustrated Bell and Beast is doing some good damage already. Not crazy amount, but it's still good damage. So I'm going to fully buff here, get the -2 defense on him, So I have a times 6 strength buff and a times 6 power buff, which should be more than enough here. And now this is without any attack boost or chips. So 17,529 over 11 hits. So we are looking, oh my god, this is actually a really good hit. Did you guys, that's really good. So that's almost 200,000 damage, guys. Almost 200,000 damage. So we're looking at a very strong medal. Let's just try that one more time, just to make sure the damage is right. But that's with all these buffs. So with almost near perfect buffs, but no PSM down, we're looking at some heavy damage on this medal if you guys have the proper buffs. So this is a level 40, 450 enemy, which is pretty high already. I don't think these guys' defense really scale as much as it does in the Coliseum. So if anything, I'll test it out in the Coliseum as well. But let's try this out one more time. This is a level 450, and it does, yeah, 17,301. So if we do 17,301, we're almost at 200,000. You times that by 11 hits, 190,000 damage without chips or an attack boost. So let's give up here and let's go to the Coliseum real quick. I'm at round 230, so I do have myself very high enemies here, level 500 enemies. Here we go, perfect. I don't know if there's any single targets. I think Neo Shadow is a single target. But here's some speed enemies at round 237 in the Coliseum. So I'm going to go to the Neo Shadow. He's got 507 level. So let's do our full buffs here. So this is better. This guy has a lot more defense on him. So let's see if we can actually do any damage without chips or attack boosts on him. You do need some form of general defense down in Coliseum. So that's why making Minnie Mouse here is going to be really good. But let's see if we can actually tickle this guy without chips and everything. And we do damage, guys. We do 19,263 without chips and without attack boost. That's amazing. So this medal's multiplier is really good. If you guys don't know how to do the math yet, for the actual math on these guys, at 100%, that's a times 2. So on your calculator, you're going to grab 4.71 because it's on the last lot and times that by 2 because of the guilt. If you have 90% guilt, you times it by 1.9. But because we have 100%, we're going to times this by 2. So we have a 9.42 multiplier on this. This is a heavy hitting medal, guys. So I'm going to use the chips here, and then we're going to continue on and replay that Coliseum quest. I'm not going to do the visible because it's not as tough. I'm going to stick to the Coliseum quest because they're a lot tougher in there. So now that we got 8,330 attack, let's talk about skills, guys. So for skills, my recommendation is not using attack boost 3 max or attack boost 4 max if it comes out. Do not use it max if you guys care about high score challenges. Now if you have spare max medals, then sure. If you got attack boost 3 max skills laying around that you're okay and you really want this guy to do the consistent skill proc, then yes, attack boost max is ideal. But because he does 11 hits, I'm not going to use him for high score challenges, so I'm not going to put an attack boost max on him. I'm going to put attack boost 4 on him because I want him to do the most damage possible. And if anything, I'm going to put one that has SP gauge or APP. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use him though, so I don't know what I really want, but my recommendation to you guys is not putting max on him. Put attack boost 4 of any version or attack boost 3 with SP gauge if you care about that 5 multiplier or the 5 cost. So I'm going to look for attack boost 4 here, if I have one. I believe okay, here we go. I have an attack boost 4 right there. So attack boost 4, I'm just going to put on him. If I had attack boost 3, I'd put attack boost 3, but I don't. So my first reversed single target AoE medal, I believe, guilted. I don't have any other ones. I'm going to put attack boost 4 on him and test him out for you guys. Eventually these skills are going to become a plenty, so it's not a big deal. But let's see the most damage possible in the game right now for skills. So let's go back into that quest, the Coliseum, and try this out. For everything else, you can't go wrong with any attack boost. If you guys really care about the 5 cost, then put the SP gauge 2, but there's better medals to use that on. And if you have Illustrated Kyrie 2, then you're okay for SP. I wouldn't worry too much. Like this medal right here, because my Illustrated Bell and Beast is fully guilted, I could put attack boost on him with SP gauge 2 and have some extra damage on my Illustrated Bell and Beast. But that's if I really want to go all out on my Fenrir. So hopefully attack boost 4 goes off. If it goes off, you guys are going to see the difference. Attack boost 4 doesn't go off, but 22,440. We're looking at 200. Let me just do the math on the calculator. But over, definitely over. Let me check. 246,000 damage, guys. 246,000 damage. 224,000. Yeah, 246,000 damage without attack boost 4 on a level 507 enemy. This guy does some really good damage, like incredibly good. A lot of you guys say to move my head. Not a lot of you guys. Some people have it. I'll move it down here just for now so you see if attack boost 4 actually goes off. It looks a little awkward, but it's okay. This way you get to see if the skill procs or not. So attack boost 4 went off on my Minnie and Daisy. Now we just need it to go off on Lexaeus. Alright, hopefully it goes off. It went off. Boom, perfect. Oh my god. Guys, that's incredible. That's 456,000 damage on level 500 enemies. That is so good. That is so good. So there you go. That's the Metal Spotlight. Skills, just to sum this up, you guys want traits, negative 60% damage. The reason he's doing so much damage is because of his traits. If you guys have 1,000 strength, he's going to be doing a little bit less damage because of that. But because he has this negative 60%, it is doing some really, really good damage. And if you guys can't get that, stick to plus 1,000. Do not put extra attack on him. Again, for a skill, attack boost 4, it's a percentage instead of max. But again, I rather use my max on high score challenges on single hit medals, not medals that do 11 hits, because that's not going to help me out on anything.